Hello and welcome again to another exciting edition of Naija Conversations with a hot seat interview series that we are doing right now. I'm so excited to be here for another day as we continue a series that we started with Omoyele Sowore yesterday, one of the irrepressible emerging leaders that we have in the country. Is right here in the studio with me, and we are going to be discussing some specific issues about the Nigerian economy. Specifically today, we will focus on the issue of unemployment among youths, and then dive from there to several other parts of the discussion today. But before I even go and do a proper introduction, I want to give Nigerians a glimpse of the kind of Nigeria that all of us should be proud of, and that somehow we don't know what happened. This is the dream of a Nigeria that I could be proud of. Somebody did a short video. Let's watch it first.
At the 600-year-old Kurmi market, Nigeria has two UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the Iron Age Sukuru landscape situated in Adamawa State, as well as the proto-historical and sacred Osun Osogbo Grove, situated in Osun State. The world's oldest custom-made boat, the 8,500-year-old Dunufa Kano, was discovered in Yobe State in the northeast of the country. With many unique and ancient cultures, traditions, and customs, in addition to hundreds of mouth-watering dishes in the national cuisine, it is also a country steeped in spirituality, with as many Muslims as Christians. It is the origin of the world's oldest practiced philosophical system in Ifa, also known as Afa. It is practiced as Santeria, Candomblé, Palo, Umbanda, and Voodoo in many countries around the world. Nigeria also boasts the oldest known unbroken paternal monarchy of more than 10,000 years, in addition to thousands of monarchies and numerous sultanates going back many hundreds of years. The town of Badagry in Lagos State was used as a slave port during the transatlantic slave trade for a period of 379 years. Between 8 to 11 million people were captured and forced into slavery via the point of no return, initially to the West Indies, Cuba, North America, and later on Brazil and elsewhere in South America. Genetic science has revealed that approximately 65% of all African Americans indicate Yoruba genetics, and more than 85% of all people of African origin in Brazil and Cuba are from Nigeria as the country it is today. The country has always been the beating heart of African football. It has gifted the world with some of the most dynamic and creative football players of all time. Gifted the world with music and artists such as the late great Fela Kuti, King Sunny Ade, Seal, Dr. Alban, and many international stars. Nigeria has also gifted the world with giants of African literature and poetry. However, Nigeria is a country on the move. The Eco-Atlantic project in Lagos will be the most advanced new city on the planet. It is a country of hardworking people, an industrious and creative people. Its film industry, Nollywood, produces close to 2,000 films annually. The country is also well known for its exotic deep ocean diving, in addition to sports fishing of marlin and tuna. Nigeria is a country of kings, of queens, businessmen and businesswomen, a place of vast sprawling game parks and highly developed cities, a country of drums, of color, culture, of festivals, music, rhythm, and art. This is Nigeria. There is simply nothing quite like it.
Well, that is what I call packaging. You watch that, you definitely want to fall in love with the country called Nigeria. But Wanti Baluje, they've spoiled Nigeria. That is a country that all of us wish for. And that is why it is important for us to look for new leaders in this 2023 coming. We have tried a lot of leaders, but they haven't delivered. You cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and then expect a different result. That is called madness. Whatever it is they're going to do, if they've had 2-3 times to do it and they haven't done it, don't come back. They can't come back and come and tell us that they can do a better job. That is why I'm doing this series, interviewing emerging leaders. I'm having no preferences. I've said it yesterday. The only organization that I subscribe to right now is called This Ends Now. And they are just a movement to try to galvanize new emerging leaders into positions of power. But we have a lot of emerging leaders in the country who can do this. But somehow many of us, we are losing sight and say, oh, this one doesn't have experience. That one doesn't have experience. This one is not true. The ones we have had, how far have they gone? But today, we are going to be interviewing again for part 2 of the series, one of the emerging irrepressible young leaders. Again, this is an interview and discussion with him. It does not imply I endorse him officially. I like the man. I believe that the man is sold on his ideas, even when we have disagreements. I know he's out there putting his blood on the line every day. Typically, I'll bring in the guest and let him introduce himself. But this man is somebody we all know. But rather than introducing him, the man is bold. He has come out. He said, I want to run Nigeria. Not only did he say he wants to run Nigeria, he believes he's better than those who are there. Easy. I'm going to play a video by another interviewer before I even bring him up right now. He's in the studio where he basically made his case as to why he should be given an opportunity. We're going to play the video, and then we're going to bring him up, and then we're going to go straight out and tackle the issue of unemployment in Nigeria. I want today to be very visual. So I'm going to be playing a lot of short videos, and I'm going to be asking our guests to comment on it, on what he thinks. But let him introduce himself. He says he's more qualified than anybody out there. Let's hear it from his own mouth.
Sure. It's quite interesting. A lot of people who knew you when you were a union leader in University of Lagos, yes, who will say, what exactly is it coming to do? Wanted to become a president? Some have even criticized it to say that's asking far too much.
Well, you know, the problem with Nigeria is that a lot of people have had their dignity and the self-esteem battered so much that they've internalized oppression and internalized inferiority complex, to the extent that they don't believe that if you're not the son of a former governor or a former president, you cannot aspire to the position of the president of the country. And so they ask you to go and become a councillor, but they have forgotten that for people like me, when some of the characters today, some of the players in our political arena today were hiding under their bed, I was fighting for the democracy that we have today. It will be 20 years by 2019 that our democracy that we fought for as student leaders from 1989 to 1999 came to be. So I am not actually a neophyte, as you've implied. It's only that I have not been involved in electoral politics in the sense that I've not been a partisan politician. I've worked. So
unionism is on one hand, politics, mainstream politics is on one hand. So if you refer to Donald Trump as an outsider, he was even referred to as an outsider. Yeah. He is an outsider in the mainstream politics. I
don't want to use Donald Trump as a yardstick for judging myself. That would be going too far, extremely to somewhere I don't want to go, because I have my reservation about his personality. But if you want to use that, I don't even fit in. I fit into an area where I have been a monitor and a fighter for democratic rule in the country. I've been part of every democratic development in Nigeria, from the period of June 12 to the period where we eventually transitioned from military rule to democratic rule, or whatever you want to call it. I was part of the people who fought against third term by former President Obasanjo, fought to help a minority presidential person, vice president then, to become a president of Nigeria. Fought
in what way were you fighting this?
Oh, you know, there used to be something called the Yaradua cabal in this country. When former President Yaradua was sick in Saudi Arabia, brain dead, and the cabal held this country to ransom. It was through a media platform I operated, known as Sahara Reporters, that we were able to find out that he was sick and we needed to move from him to another person. That was Jonathan, was his VP then. But all the forces around the cabal made it impossible for Jonathan to even know the real state of health Jonathan, or for the Nigerian people to do so. We came up and said so, and with the reporting we're doing constantly, Nigeria was able to find out that they didn't have a president anymore. There were protests, and Jonathan came to power.
Mr. Sowore, yes. Because the big question would be leadership. Political leadership is different from unionism.
No, you are.
And a lot of Nigerians will ask you.
You are looking at.
A lot of people will look at your profile.
You keep mentioning unionism as if it's the only thing I've ever done in my life.
No, that's what a lot of people know you for.
No, it's not true.
I mean, especially those who have followed you for a long time.
I think recently most people actually know me as a media entrepreneur who created one of the best media platforms in this country that challenged the status quo and had become successful and competed globally. That's the Harry Potters. So you cannot claim that the last time you heard about me was...
No, I'm not saying the last time. But I'm saying that what looks like what you want to do now is what I'm relating to. But the question would be your profile and your credential in wanting to be a president of Nigeria.
What does a president of Nigeria want to be? Is a person who has political will to do what is right, is a person who is well educated, intellectual enough, somebody who has integrity. The people that you are likely referring to as having experience are the people who have experience in looting this country, people who have experience in assassination, political gerrymandering, carpetbagging. I'm not that. I'm talking to you as someone who has monitored the process. There's a video, by the way, that is online that you can find with me standing behind Bashorem K. Abiola in 1993. I was 21 years old. It was the most difficult to stand by a person of that status. I stood there. And you cannot just look at me and say people were hiding under their bed in 1992 who came and benefited from my sweat are more qualified than me. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
What is the reason, your main reason for coming out this time?
We've got to a point where Nigerians like me across the country, across the world are saying enough is enough. We no longer want very mediocre leaders, very corrupt leaders, leaders who are unprepared.
All right, you heard him. That is a powerful 5 minutes. I deliberately went to search for it. Mr. Sowore did not give me that video. I went to search on the internet myself to find a video that accurately presents himself as a candidate. And that's why we're going to test him tonight. We have had a lot of candidates come in and tell us a lot of good stuff, but we want to know specifics. And today I'm going to make it a little bit different. I am going to more or less make the new generation leader go and comment on the solutions of the old generation. And today we are focusing on a matter that is very, very dear to me. Mr. Sowore has already expressed that he will not be able to stay for long today. We'll only be here for an hour, which is okay. When he's gone, we continue. Because for me, unemployment in Nigeria is the what is dearest to my own heart. Because when I look at young graduates, when I look at even old graduates who are home for 4, 5, 6, 7 years with no job in a country that is supposed to be one of the biggest oil producers in Nigeria, then I get upset afresh every day when I think about it. And those who know me know I'm already doing something along that area that I can do. But our governments need to step up the next time the youths march out. One of the demands I am begging them to include, and I've gotten involved with one of them right now, is called This Ends Now. They are trying to get everybody under one banner so that we can go after this government. I'm not in any political party. I'm not here to whitewash Sowore or Feladro Toye, even though they will be here. We are scheduling them right now. Mogalu, Obekwesili. I'm going to try to get them on this page and give them equal time. 3-4 days straight. No palliative talk. Let them tell us specifics of what they're going to do, so we know if they have ideas or they don't. The time to keep talking is over. We have to go after these leaders. They are no friends. As I'm going to see in a minute, I'm not friend to Mr. Sowore when it comes to interview. He has to tell us, is he the man? Not in sweet talk, but what he can do. But how did we get here? Because we Nigerians, we seem to have a very, very short memory. Many of us fought to get Jonathan out because we felt he was not performing. Many of us went and backed up Buhari because we felt Buhari can do better. He has had one term. He has had second term. But there is no improvement. In case we have a short memory, I'm going to play 2-3 minute videos each for you guys to see the progression. In 2014, we were all screaming, everything is bad. We need to get this person out. We need to get him out. But this is where we still are today, let me play some of these videos for you, okay, for you to understand where we're coming from. Because we forgot in 2019 and voted the same old class in because they keep twisting our hands and convincing us with some stupid what they call stomach infrastructure. Nigerians, we need to have a good memory. Come 2023, those old, tired, used people, we need to get rid of them. Look at what we were talking about before we gave it to Buhari, or at the time we gave it to him. I just wanted to watch a couple of short videos and see where we were coming from and where we are. We still are. After 6 years of Mr. Buhari, here is one of those videos.
The steep slowdown in economic growth in Nigeria has had an adverse effect on its job market. The latest official data indicates that the number of young people without jobs rose to 76 million in the fourth quarter of 2015, and that's 1.3% higher compared to the previous period. That only compounds the problem for the federal government since it promised to reduce the country's unemployment. Kelechi Mekalam has the details.
It's been nearly 5 years since Nefaraya Ishaya graduated from the university, but the English major hasn't been lucky enough to get a job. So she's just started this small cooking business from her home, earning an average 20,000 naira, just about $100 monthly. But it's barely enough to take care of her basic needs. The government has been talking about additional 3 million jobs in 3 years. That's 1 million jobs every year through a private sector-led job market. Nefaraya remains optimistic, but it doesn't rule out her concerns.
I won't say I'm really excited because the previous government came and made similar promises, of which not most of them were achieved. But I want to remain optimistic to this present government because I'm hoping that this government will do something about it.
Like Nefaraya, there are millions of Nigerians who can't find a job. Under the government's plan, technology, wholesale and retail, construction and agribusiness are some of the targeted sectors to drive the job creation. President Buhari has been reaching out to foreign investors to revive the economy, but that clearly has offered no fixes to Nigeria's job hunters. His strategies hinged on reducing public administration costs while propping private sector investments. But some economists here think that strategy is far from solving the problem.
All of their assessment and report is...
Bottom line, that's where we were before this man was re-elected in 2019. All right, Mr. Sowore is getting ready to be here. Just give me the signal when you are ready. I want to bring him on. In the meantime, I'll keep playing. I just want to be sure you're ready. You are not yet. Okay. Okay, you are ready. Okay, fantastic. All right, let's bring him up. Fantastic. Mr. Sowore, you are welcome again to another exciting edition of Face Nigerian, and when we can begin to get some new ideas. It's obvious for everybody who have watched a couple of those videos, and I have plenty of them for today, that it is not working. This old class that have had 1 chance, 2 chances, 3 chances, 4 chances are not doing it. That is why I'm focusing my interviews on emerging leaders. What else do they have for us? Mr. Sowore, you are welcome. I'm going to give you a short, what I call an intro. I wanted to give me like a kind of a overview of your thoughts on the unemployment situation in Nigeria today before we go to this.
Well, thank you, Dr. Okwe, again for this second day.
I have a lot of background though. There's some, maybe fan is on or something. There's a lot of noise on your end.
Okay. All right, let me take out the fan.
Okay,
I'm in Abuja and
okay, go ahead.
I'm in Abuja and it's pretty hot out here. Super hot. It's like 35 degrees centigrade. I don't know what it's in the US, but thank you once again for continuation of this conversation. And I want to say that I'll use my personal experience. I graduated from the University of Lagos. Finally, around 1995, went for NYC. In 1996, I concluded my NYC and then entered the job market. And I was never employed until I left Nigeria. Well, I had some kind of underemployment. I worked with the AD, which is the alternate, the the Democratic Alternative, for a few months. Wasn't really paid, and then I left in 1999. And what I could tell you is that I have colleagues, friends, and associates when I was in student union, graduated together with us. Until today, they've never been employed before. They rely on support from family, handouts here and there, subcontracting from their friends who found job. So I, and it's very sad that there's nobody that's we don't have up to 1% of people who are employable who are employed today in Nigeria, not up to 1%. And of course, the elites, as usual, help themselves out with provision of employment opportunities to the point that under the Buhari regime, we know some individuals who have two jobs, working in two different places, and are getting paid both salaries and emoluments uh, under the regime. It's very sad. They reserve all the juicy jobs for their relatives and family members, sons and daughters, whereas for the larger Nigerian society, there's nothing. And I'll start by saying that, one of the things I said when I was campaigning was that I would turn Nigeria to a construction site, because I think we need, not I think, I know that we need a massive public works spending, an agenda, policy that will get people back to work, and there's no alternative to it. You must get people back to work in Nigeria to solve a lot of problems of hunger, starvation, of unemployment as it is, of crime and banditry, terrorism, because all of these things are locked down, or they're related to the fact that Nigeria doesn't have employment opportunities for a majority of its citizens. And when people have nothing to do, as it is the popular saying that, you know, and an idle hand is the devil's workshop. Yes, in fact, in Nigeria, it's not only idle hands at the devil's workshop. I think also people are overpaid are also the devil's workshop. When I mean this, talking about senators, House of Rep members, and people who are the associates, special assistants, special advisors, and those bogus positions that are available in Nigeria. So, except we deliberately put in place an employment policy first that deals with public works, investment in health, education, because when I was campaigning, I also had mentioned specifically that to get the education system back on board, which we talked about yesterday, we need to hire nothing less than 160,000 teachers within 100 days of coming to office. We are looking at over 160,000 that will eventually move up to 600,000 nurses,
Where will you
a
get those
huge number
teachers?
of doctors.
Where will you get those teachers from? Just curious.
Huh?
Where will you get those teachers from?
Well, yes, the decision was that everybody who has a graduate position will do a 6 months training as a teacher. You will sign up with us and you have a 6 months training as a teacher to go back to work in our educational system. So, regardless of your degree, you can teach if you want to, but we must have a 6 months crash course as a teacher. And I did mention to you yesterday when I arrived in the US, I did a crash course as a nurse. I did a crash course as a security person, which some of them were 6 weeks, some of them were 4 weeks. And then from there, if you want to keep your career in that department, you keep doing more training. So that's the plan with regards to teaching, nursing. But for medical, in medical department, I've told you yesterday, will be technologically driven. Those who are available on the ground, we work in our hospitals. Those who are outside and who want to join, we be able to participate through telemedicine.
All
That
right.
you can be in the Caribbean, in the US, Canada, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and you can actually be part of a team in Nigeria by way of technology. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
I should not. Sorry, and I don't want to cut you short here. We cannot do this without a living wage, and that's why when I was running, I did propose a 100,000 naira minimum.
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Now I'm a little bit concerned. Okay, and I have to be
Go
frank.
ahead, doctor.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me on the thread? It looks like Mr.
Hello?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me on the can you hear me? If you guys can hear me, can you give me a 10 quickly, please? Or maybe
Yeah,
it's
I can hear you loud and clear.
all right, fantastic. All right. Again, I know that, and I want to implore Sowore supporters who are on this thread. We need to calm down. Let's give a good account for our man, the man that you claim to support. Abusing people and abusing the moderator does not help anybody. Let's have a conversation. All right. I'm already getting abused and I've not even said anything. Now here, I'm concerned, and this is where I probably will upset you and upset some of your fans that out there. I am a bit concerned because the solution I'm hearing from you is the same old solutions. I call it tired old solutions that won't work in a new economy that I'm hearing from people in government right now. Things like turning our graduates to teachers. Before you respond, let me play a video, and then I'll let you respond to that. All right? So let's have I'm talking to those outside now, not necessarily even your supporters, people on this thread. Let's have a civil conversation. Put your own opinions out there if you don't like what you are hearing from me. But I'm going to play a video from our Minister for Labor and Employment. And then I'm going to ask Mr. Sowore how what he is proposing is different from what this man is saying, even though I think I've come out publicly to criticize the man that he doesn't have ideas. So let's hear it.
If you ask this question, it also is a very unfair question. An economy that moved into recession, why won't there be job losses?
You know, I know that you might say that this is under the Ministry of Health, but this is also under the Ministry of Labor. And for someone who is in the medical field, aren't you concerned that, you know?
Yes, please, can you help us understand the whole issue of employment, unemployment played very, very key role in the speech of the president. Your ministry will have to put that into play. What are we to expect?
Well, what you have to expect is jobs. We are going to create jobs, and if you look at the budget, it might not be very clear to you what we've done. It's an intervention budget for job creation. There are so many programs that will run under them, but all of them will end up being for job creation, giving employment. And when we talk about employment, we will give employment that will be decent. Yeah, so that, for example, one of the programs we are going to do is the conversion of graduates into the teaching cadre. We give them training, after youth corps, 1 year post youth corps, 2 year post youth corps, that's the bar. And we'll start from there, get them into teaching. Whether you're an engineer, whether you're a lawyer, we convert you. And you use that as a transition job for the time being. We're also going to do skill acquisition. All our skill acquisition centers scattered over the country are going to be raved into performing their roles. Our children should forget about white-collar jobs for now. They should use their hands and learn how to lay tiles, how to make POP, how to do some carpentry work. And these are jobs that are paying, even in the civilized climes. So we're going to face job creation, and Mr. President has assured that Nigerians will smile. It's a reflationary budget that you're seeing now.
All right, you have heard him, and I want to be fair, and I want to be also direct, just like you have credibility to maintain, I've got mine to maintain. What I've just heard you share is not different from what Ingige is saying, and I think, and you can clarify if I didn't hear you right, For me, Mr. Ngige, by the way, I'm going to play several of his videos. Obviously, the man is totally clueless. When the man is proposing converting graduates to teachers in 2021, I think is a man that is bereft of ideas in an exploding digital world. And so here you say it also, I have to hold you accountable, even though you're my friend. So I'm going to give you opportunity to respond to that. In 2021, our leaders are thinking about converting graduates to just go and be doing teaching, even engineers and all that in 2021. And if that is the idea you also are proposing, then I'm concerned and I have to be fair. So please, I'll let you clarify and why am I not hearing things like we are going to train our graduates to be able to provide digital services globally, which is really where the market is. But I don't know. I'm the interviewer. I'm going to let you supplement your answer with that. Go ahead. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Oh my God. Your audio is off. Or is it only for me? Can you guys hear Sowore is responding, but I can't hear him? We can't. It looks like. Are you using headphones? Well, I can't hear you for some reason. I can see your mouth moving, but I can't hear. All right. So, guys, can you, maybe it's only my own. Let me. Oh yeah, keep talking. Let me check my phone. All right. So, guys, can you, maybe it's only my own. Let me. Oh yeah, keep talking. Let me check my phone. All right. So, guys, can you, maybe it's only my own. Let me. Oh yeah, keep talking. They can't hear you, sir. Your audio is off. Maybe you want to sign out and sign back in for some reason. You are on. You are not muted, but for some reason it's not coming out. It's not. No volume. So I'll let Mr. Sowore log out and log back in, and then he will take it from. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. He has gone out. So where I'm going to let him respond to that. And again, I want you guys to be patient with me. Particularly those of you who love Sowore, we all love him. We feel he's a visible leader out there, but we also have to put his feet to the fire just like everybody else. Otherwise, we are all hypocrites. So please don't start abusing me here. Let's have a civil conversation. All right. Yes, I think it's back. Let's see if it's going to go on now. Go ahead, sir.
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, right. You got the floor.
I think you totally, I think you didn't get my point about teachers. I myself studied geography and planning, and I was a teacher in the U.S. for 10 years. Teaching post-colonial Africa history. It's a matter of choice for people who want to be teachers to become teachers in our schools. What I said clearly is not some kind of recruitment that is forceful. It's not some kind of a military type of forceful recruitment. So what I'm saying, and I'll repeat here again, is that for the education sector, we need 160,000 teachers in the first 100 days or 6 months. And these teachers will undergo training to be teachers. It will be their choice. If they want to be teachers or they don't want to be, move to other area. We are going to have an investment in road infrastructure, rail infrastructure, housing, sewage, teachers, of course, which I mentioned, primary healthcare workers. We're going to have investment in the cattle or beef industry, which is about $3 billion industry. Agricultural empowerment program. Of course, in addition to that, we will have technologists, people who want to engage in the tech industry, which has become a $1 trillion industry today. But what I'm telling you in all of this is that my goal in the first 6 months or first 4 years as president of Nigeria will be to provide at least 5 million jobs in the country. 5 million jobs in Nigeria. And these areas will come from rail infrastructure, road infrastructure, housing, drinking water, teachers, doctors, primary health care or nurses, agricultural extension workers, you can decide to be all of this, and you may decide that that's not what you want. You can still go to the private sector and work. But my goal in terms of employment is to invest in a public works system that will provide jobs. And the good news about these jobs, 5 million jobs in Nigeria, with people catering for their families, the relative, extended, and distended, permit me to use that word, you will have multiplier effect. And you know that this is how the US, whenever the economy goes down, do bring the economy back into shape. It's public works. I have said that this is how to get people who are currently unemployed to start working and deciding where they want to be. The opportunities will be there, but everybody cannot be a computer scientist. No. If anybody tells you that, it will be a lie. Everybody cannot be a Microsoft expert. There are people who would want to go into all these sectors that I mentioned. We're saying that we will facilitate it, and that the most important part of this is that the government will make sure that everybody who's working in the country has not a minimum wage, but a living wage, which starts from 100,000 naira, with which you can at least afford a house or a roof over your head, even by rent or ownership. We'll put in place a national, very transparent mortgage system, so that if you want to build a house, you don't have to go rob a bank. You can start borrowing little by little. And this is what I mean by providing employment as we hit the ground running. That does not that also excludes loan systems, because one of Nigeria's biggest problems is that when people want to provide loans to the banks, the interest rates are criminal. I lived in the US for 20 years, and when you want to borrow money, if your credit rating is good, they give you 5%. When you want to buy a car, you get sometimes 0% for a year. In Nigeria, the average interest rate on loans is 27%, 25%. Nobody can repay such loans back. So people who may not want to work in the public sector will have access to these guaranteed loans by government that is not above 5 to 7% interest rate. So if you want to set up a fish farm, the agricultural sector loan should not be above 5%, between 4 to 5%, or maximum 7%, depending on your credit rating. Because Nigeria right now doesn't even have a credit rating system, which I think we should establish. Nothing more than 7%. There's no way anybody who borrows money at 27% interest rate can pay it back. It's not possible. And that's what is killing the state, is what is one of the biggest camps in the country. My role, or the government's role, as far as I'm concerned, is provide the enabling environment for people who want to work, to find jobs easily. Those who may not be interested are attracted to the public sector to find the incentives or the support to create their own businesses and make sure that they thrive in the system. And within that 4 years, 5 million jobs, in my view, can become 20 million persons who are supported because of our own very peculiar support system, which I call the multiplier effect. But it has nothing to do, and is not related to Chris Ngege, which you mentioned. Those guys are confused. Yes, they're not. Even when I talked about 600,000 nurses, somebody was making fun of me a few months ago. And then when they want to invest money on public works, look at what Kenyama was doing: wheelbarrow, and they're using cutlasses, machetes of 1940 to cut grasses. It's obvious that that's not public work system. Right. That's just a reward system for members of your political party.
I don't want to cut it short, but I think you've made the point, and I am still a bit concerned, because the next thing, and you're an American journalist, and I'm not a journalist, so forgive me if I'm not following the ethics. Okay, the question is, are you going to pay for that? It'll be interesting to hear you say, because For instance, when you say public works, you are talking billions and billions. Right now, even the teachers that you are talking about, the ones that are employed right now, are not even being paid. Now you add 160,000.
Teachers.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay,
Let me finish. Okay, let me finish. I'm just responding to you and giving you opportunity to clarify for us. Okay. You talk about loan systems. Right now, we don't even have a credit system. How are they going to run it? We see what happened with the with what they have tried to do. Even this government has tried to do that. Is not working. The issue of tech, which I think you probably misunderstood me. Let me. I want to respond to that because all this stuff you are talking about, I'm talking implementation here. Money will be a very big issue. And I'm not saying they are bad ideas. And now you're going to tell us in a minute how you want to fund it. But what about a scenario? Because again, I'm trying to sensitize you and then you can then respond what you think about that. When I say tech, I'm not talking about tech of 20 years ago. About 20, 25 years ago, India had this same problem we have of mass unemployment among our youths. Right now, whether it's 20 million, 10 million, 30 million, we know it's millions, sure. In that time, the internet, IT industry was just exploding. They invested in training their IT people, their youths in IT, and today they basically rule the world in terms of IT. The same scenario is presenting itself, but in a different format. And that is where I get frustrated when some leaders, and I'm not talking you now, when you're trying to discuss with them, they are thinking the IT of India model. No, sir. Right now, simple jobs have gone global, where something as basic as proofreading, something as basic as video creation with a software, something as basic as designing a software, that is a big market now. Fiverr alone has 5 million transactions a month. 5 million transactions. Freelancer.com has over 2 million transactions a month. Nigerians are already trained. They don't need to be sent to be teaching. The government, because it's a cost-easy solution, government doesn't even need to spend much money. They already have the halls. They're going to do this training. They want to do it physical. It can be done digitally. All they need to do is log in. Yes, I know everybody will not want to go and provide basic services like proofreading, transcription, video creation, graphic design. These are skills that can be taught in less than 2 hours. I've done it. I have thousands. Some of them watching now that can testify. If government declares a 1 month digital empowerment program and they provide us all over, all that will cost them are the teachers, which will not even go anywhere near 1 billion. You can get, you're talking 5 million, you can get 10 million off the unemployment roll just doing that. Why? Because it doesn't cost them money. It doesn't cost them, only it's time. And anybody can learn proofreading in 1 hour. Anybody can learn transcription because they are done with software now. That's what I'm talking about. Nigeria is positioned where we can solve this our unemployment. Now, every youth will not be interested in providing that. I get it. But most people went to university. They'll be able to do this stuff. That's what I'm talking about, in case you misunderstood me about the tech part.
No, I didn't misunderstand you, but I think that
go ahead.
There's a narrow definition of what I consider to be education and what you consider to be education. I want to put people in every school that's in existence in Nigeria to teach. I want to put, we discussed it yesterday, I want to put 6
the schools don't work.
Yes, wait, just calm down.
Okay.
You know, I want to put at least 12 teachers in every physical school, right? I want to put internet there such that where a teacher might be deficient in any knowledge, any sort of knowledge, you can have a teacher who can teach that same school or same class virtually. We discussed that yesterday, but there's no doubt about that, the fact that we still need physical, presence of teachers in schools across Nigeria. The same way, even though virtual education is popular in the US today, the teachers are still operating the system and they're waiting for kids to come back to school. And my kids go to school some days they do virtual education because it has to be mixed. We are not even there yet. You're talking about proofreading and things like that. I agree with you. But that doesn't mean that the teacher who wants to physically teach should be pushed aside. A teacher can actually go to school in the morning and come back at do proofreading job in the night. He can come and do websites development in the night. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But you have also not talked about an area that I didn't touch. Calm down, sir.
No,
Is
fair enough.
that
I've had
the cost of data? Yeah, yeah. The cost of data, for example, is prohibitive in Nigeria. You and I use a phone in the US that has unlimited data, unlimited calling times, and we pay $50. That $50, the way we are in Nigeria today, can be used in one day if you are using a Nigerian phone, because the phone companies in Nigeria are just, they're just killing phone users because there's no regulation. Even when there's regulation, our officials are too corrupt. They're in bed with the phone companies and internet provision companies that you don't get the kind of internet that allows you to be as creative as you have mentioned. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that when I talk about public works, I cannot compare the public institutions, the infrastructure in Nigeria with that of the US yet. When I was in New York some 10 years ago, it's the campaign item boils down to provision of free internet in New York State. I was shocked. It's like everybody's like, I'll give free internet, I'll provide internet on every street. And Nigeria, we're still talking about roads, we're still talking about drinkable water, we're still talking about agriculture. All those things are no longer have not been solved yet. I'm saying that we are solving all this problem by engaging people, and the same people, or more of them, can decide to go into tech. They can go into the private or public sector. I am discussing with you public sector employment, or what can facilitate and enhance public sector participation, including even private sector, by investing in things that will make individuals who are creative and have entrepreneurial spirit to do what they want to do. The reason why India was doing so well is not because India felt, that the leaders in India fell from the sky. It was because they created the opportunity, including creating housing estates. And I'm saying this to you, housing estates that exclusively for the diaspora community in India that came back from San Francisco, to be safe. They enhanced and facilitated, their return to the country by making sure that they are safe. They have the same kind of facilities that were available, in San Francisco, wherever they were coming from, so that they can stay in India and bring the technology back home. We don't have that. We don't even have electricity, Dr. Banwo. And electricity is key for, at the minimum, charging your phone. I know of a lot of friends who, when they're not here with me in Abuja, they have to go and keep their phone with a generator who will charge the phone for 3 hours before they can make a phone call. We don't have that. I have discussed electricity before, not on your show, but how we will use a mix of electricity sources to solve our electricity problem. Egypt did that, and they were able to electrify 40 million homes in less than 4 years.
I don't want us to mix it up. We're talking.
So we're not mixing up. I'm just telling you, somehow also they are related. But I don't want you to feel that this suggestion about teachers, about people working in the public sector department, developing infrastructure, developing electricity, developing even broadband infrastructure, developing educational opportunities for people. It's the same thing as Ngige. I'm sorry to say that. I don't belong in that category. We have this figured out. There are construction workers in the US, who build bridges. That is not the same type of thing that Ngige is talking about. You can be a teacher in the US and decide that the opportunities are there for you to go and learn how to build bridges and be a support system, or even draw stuff, or do internet for a construction site. Does it make you worthless? No. It's a matter of choice. I studied geography in Nigeria when I arrived in the US, and I'm telling you, I trained as a nurse for a few weeks, and I worked in a nursing home for adults. When I was tired of that, I went to New York City and trained as a security official.
No, I hear you again.
For 18 hours.
Let's move on.
I was working in a store wearing a jacket as a security man before I decided I was time to go to the university, and I went and studied my master's. That's my story, and that's the story for a lot of our people. But that is not existing here because people who are running Nigeria don't have sense. They don't even understand what public works is about. What I want to distinguish in having this conversation with you is that I don't want you, and it's not a fight, and we both know how to fight each other. It's not a fight, but I just don't want you to walk away with the impression that comparing me with Ngige or Festus Kenyamo. These are two different strategies for creating employment. Please don't put me in that box or in that basket.
The beauty of this is that it is out there live. People heard you before I played the video, and they heard you after. Nigerians can make up their mind.
By the way, I didn't get to watch that video. I think it was.
I can play it back if you want, but the video.
That's
now, if I may put in now, so I don't want to antagonize you. You're my guest, and you are really being an upfront man, and you are facing it. But the truth of the matter is, the reason why I played that Ngige video was because it sounds very. Nigerians can make up their mind what it sounded like. I am not saying exactly. That's why I played it. And then after the head, but you have now supplemented your answer, and that is okay. I'm going to leave that right there because it's. I don't want it to look like I'm debating. This is me interviewing you. If me and you are debating, it's a whole different thing. So, but we'll see ideas. Okay. So let's
go back to work.
Yes. All right. So I want to play another video for you because the reason why I'm playing those videos is to contrast you with the old generation that I have come to believe cannot do the job. If we're going to trust a new generation leader, we have to be sure he has a better idea and not sell us the same thing. So Ngige said something that got me so upset, and many Nigerians upset several years ago about doctors. I'm going to play it, then I'm going to get your reaction and how you will do it better. So Nigerians can contrast the new generation. Again, when I get Fela here, when I get Mogalu here, I'm going to play the same thing for them. I want Nigerians to hear them, and then Nigerians can form their opinions about these new generation leaders. Let's hear Ngige again.
Yes, please, can you help us understand the whole issue of...
I know that you might say that this is under the Ministry of Health, but this is also under the Ministry of Labor. And for someone who is in the medical field, aren't you concerned that, we could be facing a crisis of, a shortage of hands in the medical field as we progress?
No, I'm not concerned at all. I'm not worried.
You're not?
We have surplus. If you have surplus, you export. Yes. It happened at one time, Indian teachers. I was taught biology and chemistry by Indian teachers in my secondary school days. They have surplus in their country. We have surplus in the medical profession here. I can tell you. It's my area.
This is where we're complaining that we don't have enough doctors to man
Who said?
Rural areas. There is not enough medical professionals. You say we have surplus?
We have enough. We have more than enough. Quote me.
So there is nothing wrong with all of these people coming to...
No, nothing wrong.
To come and...
They go out, they sharpen their skills, they earn money and send them back home here. Yes, we have earnings from them. We have foreign exchange earnings, not from oil. The Indians were doing it. Ceylonese, they taught me. Pakistanis, they taught me.
Are you abreast of what is currently happening in the medical sector?
How?
Honorable Minister.
No, I am.
I'm trying to see if I can get that article now. This was written a couple of weeks ago by a columnist.
Those guys go there, they are trained, they are better trained because of the facilities they have there. Eventually, I know some of them who have come back home with those facilities and opened up centers here. I know of my doctor in America. He has a facility in Imo State now. Has about 4 facilities in Maryland where he is practicing. And so you tell me that there's a brain drain. Yes, he has gone there. In fact, he left in the 80s, yes. We were medical school together. I know a couple of them. And they are setting up centers back home here. And in their centers, they have CAT scan, they have MRI scan, they have other scan, which even the government hospitals cannot maintain.
Doctor,
And so I don't see any loss.
We're talking about a brain drain.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, well.
You see, the drain is inimical. If somebody goes out to be a neurosurgeon abroad, and we don't have neurosurgeons here, we have neurosurgeons here.
Now, listening to that man, I feel like even myself, I want to do revolution now.
Yes.
These guys all need to just
yes.
Anyway, let me hear your take first, because I get upset when I watch videos like that. What is your take on that, Sowore, and what will you do better? Because it's obvious that that man is totally bereft of ideas, and I hope they are not trying to bring him out in 2023. Mr. Sowore, if you're not ready, I can pull you down. Are you ready to go now? Or you're still tidying up some stuff?
I look,
go ahead.
I know Ngige a little bit, and I don't want to insult native doctors by claiming that Ngige is a native doctor. So what he's saying doesn't make sense. I'm aware of the registration of doctors in Nigeria, and there are about 45,000 doctors that have ever been trained in Nigeria. 45,000, I think. Nigeria has 200 million people. We need at least 4 million doctors to take care of our health needs. My own proposition about public works has nothing to do with doctors. We don't have enough doctors. That's the reason why I was telling you that even the doctors have gone out, and any doctor out there who might want to help, we can bring them up by using technology. And I mentioned telemedicine. Not for a doctor. Ngige is not the only person who made this egregious proposition, by the way. There was a Minister of Health, I think it was Adewale or so, who once said that doctors can become tailors, and that his tailor is a doctor. These guys are mad. You understand? They've lost their minds. That's not what I'm proposing, and I want it to be clear to people who are watching and listening that it will be erroneous for anybody to say to me or to group me in the position of Ngige. But I believe that someone who has a degree, who might want to be a teacher, who is not a doctor, can be a teacher if they're trying to become a teacher. That's in the teacher's department. I'm not proposing that a doctor should become a tailor. No, that's not my proposal. We don't have enough doctors. And I'm not surprised that Ngige is saying this. He's not the first to say it. That Minister of Health before that was removed by Buhari said it categorically. If you search for the videos, he said his tailor is a doctor, and that doctors should find other jobs to do, because these mad people believe that there are enough doctors in Nigeria. They don't understand that for a population of 200 million people, you should have at least one doctor to about, I don't know, but it shouldn't be more than 200 people. But right now we have one doctor to about almost 2,000 people or 5,000 people. How do people survive in that country? As I mentioned to you before, I did my calculation and research. The US right now has over 2.6 million nurses. There are less than 30,000 nurses in Nigeria. How do people survive in this kind of country? So my proposition for health sector is different. It's different from the public works. It's different from education. It's different from infrastructure. But what I'm saying to you, which I'm not renouncing and I will never renounce, which has nothing to do with Ngige, is that a geography graduate can decide to be a teacher. What we need to do is to perform that surgery for him to transit to becoming a teacher by doing 6 months training, so that he knows how to prepare lesson notes and be a teacher. And there's nothing wrong with being a teacher. Even a doctor can teach part-time as a on the side, because we need more teachers, and we need as much as we need doctors and nurses, as we need agricultural extension workers. If, for instance, I'm sitting here and telling you that the only people who are qualified to be agricultural extension workers are people who studied agric in the university, it doesn't make sense. It's just like saying that the only people who can work in a bank are people who study, banking and finance and business administration. No, that's not what is
All
required.
right, let's make
Anybody,
because I know you have
that the only people who can be a journalist are people who went to journalism school. I didn't go to journalism school, but I did a very fantastic job
you
practicing.
You did. Sahara Reporters became the reference point globally, not even in Nigeria. I happen to know that because it came up at a meeting that I was involved with somewhere in Wisconsin, and they were asking me about it. White guys. So great job on that. Now let's do a little bit of a pivot here. Okay. Now the next question I want to quickly rush the next two so that if we have to leave at least those two I want to.
Yes,
yeah.
I'll be leaving soon because I think we are supposed to come back tomorrow.
Yeah, we are
have 2 hours tomorrow.
Yes. All right. Okay, great. So yeah, I want to go to this question because sometimes when we are discussing the issue of unemployment in Nigeria, there is sometimes because of the urgency and the need of it, we don't want to tackle root causes of this. And there's a video I saw a while back of Ben Bruce that I want your comment on, where he actually made a case that population explosion is a major cause of unemployment in Nigeria. So we're going to discuss it a little bit, whether that is true or whether I read Aaron, because if you have a runaway population, then it will be difficult to tackle unemployment thing. At least that's what he said. I'm going to play this video because I think it's something that should start a conversation, whether people agree with him or not on this, and then I will get your take on it. Here is Ben Bruce talking about unemployment, the connection between unemployment and population growth. Let's listen.
And the hungry are now killing the welfare, and the poor are now killing the rich. And this is what we've been talking about for a long time. We're a nation of 200 million. Maybe. I don't think Nigerians even know the true population of Nigeria. We're not paying attention to the most important part of Nigeria. And let me explain. For our people to be unemployed, to be employed, the economy has to grow at 15% for about 30 years to employ every Nigerian living today. Our reaction to employ them in government is counterproductive. It does two things. One, it increases the budget, which means there's less money for social intervention. Successive governments in Nigeria have run away from the fundamental issues affecting Nigeria. One, what are population control policies? Does anybody care how many children we have? Does anybody care how many children we ought to have? How many children make up an economy that is truly functional? Nobody cares. So we all talk about the issue, but we avoid what is truly important: population control policies. Now, we don't have to be as draconian as China, where they have a one-child policy, but a one-child policy in China helps stabilize the Chinese economy, and they can grow at 7, 8, 9%. Muslims and Christians will criticize me for my position, but unless this government and all governments have a population control policy, one, we cannot solve the problem. Two, we must spend more money on education. Right now, we have a choice. We either buy books or we buy bombs. We either buy books or we buy bullets. We are buying more bullets, 4 times more bullets than we are buying books. If we don't educate our people, we have to kill them. If you don't kill them, they'll kill you. So you have a choice. Educate them or get killed or kill them. A policy of having a great military, great police force, policing the rich with barbed wire, fence house and bulletproof cars is not the solution to grow the Nigerian economy. To grow the economy and to provide jobs, we must have fewer people. When I was in university, my professor asked us a question. He said, are the Jews the chosen people? Everybody in the class, I was 18 years old, was quiet. He said, are the Jews the chosen people? And he said, let us analyze that question. They said the average Jewish family has 1.5 children per family. The average education of a Jew is maybe a master's degree. But what do we have? What is the average education of a Nigerian? So because they have fewer people, they focus on technology, they grow the economy. With fewer people, they have an advanced economy in an environment that is not so conducive for great development. But we think having babies is equivalent to wealth, is equivalent to success, is equivalent to development, is counterproductive. We analyzed that situation. And here we are today. We are making babies, We're not educating our children. We're not giving them jobs. They have no future. Because they have no future, they carry a gun, they carry a knife, they point it at you, they take you out. Because they see you with a beautiful car. And they're on the streets. So the road between Kaduna and Kanu is as dangerous as any road in the country. And let me tell you this. The population problem you have in the north is in the whole country. When I went to Bayelsa, 10, 15 children with no clothes on in every hut. So don't think the population problem is a northern problem. It is a Nigerian problem. 200 million people with no jobs, 20 million kids out of school cannot solve our problem. We are faced with a revolution that is here. Don't talk about the revolution coming. The revolution is here. As you go home today, you will get a phone call. Somebody's been killed, somebody's been dead, somebody's been raped, somebody has been maimed, because that is the reality of life. Whether you like it or you don't like it, we have to deal with a population control policy. Muslims and Christians and atheists and whatever you call yourself, do not run away from the subject. I know President Babangida was the only president in the history of Nigeria who tried to deal with this issue by saying, yeah, you should have 4 children per family. You can have 10, 20, 30, that is fine. But as long as you have 20 children, 50 children, be ready to educate them, give them a job, give them hope. If you don't, we have no choice. And one of you or all of us will be faced with a firing squad very soon. Thank you very much.
Deputy Senate President.
All right, you guys had it. Mr. Sowore is off for a minute. Is going to be back now. Ben Bruce has thrown a can of worms. He threw this a few years back. It was vilified, and people are willing to kill him because this is something we Nigerians don't want to talk about. But yet, it's a conversation we must have. Why do I think that? I'm waiting for Mr. Sowore to come back in and make his comments on that. Oh, he's back already. All right, let me add him to the stream. All right, so, Mr. Sowore, what?
I'm here.
Okay, yes, you are on now. What are your comments before I make mine? Because I know you have to go. I have one more video after this, and then we can let you go. You had already said you cannot do more than 1 hour today. My apologies. So maybe you give your comment.
You know, I love this video. I love this video. No problem, please. Dr. Banwo, I love the video that you brought up. But exactly that video tells about the opportunism, the contradiction, and dishonesty of the political class. The person you presented in that video, Ben Bruce, was collecting 14 million naira a month as allowances and emolument as a senator. That is the minimum wage of a person collecting 30,000 naira a month for 38 years. Ben Bruce never disclosed how much he was collecting. He never refused to collect it. But beyond that, Ben Bruce was one of the chronic debtors in Nigeria. He took money from banks, built a fake galleria in Victoria Island, and took the rest of the money and bought a house for $3 million in Los Angeles. I did the reporting on that. When I found out it was a scam, he went underground. So this is part of Nigeria's problem. When you want to present a credible person, don't present Ben Bruce. Ben Bruce is a scam. You understand? Big scam.
Now, with all due respect, one second. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I am not presenting Ben Bruce. I don't even like Ben Bruce. Why I played that?
I apologize because you said he dropped a. It's because you said he dropped a bomb. He didn't drop any bomb.
Just a second.
So now let me pivot away from. Let me discuss the issue of population.
So I just want exactly. That's why I played the video. Time
is running out. Time is running out.
Because you are turning to something else. When I play somebody's video, I don't play it for them. I played for the ideas that they propose. Is it a good one
or
bad one? Okay. Respond to that. I don't care.
I'm addressing the character. I'm addressing the character you presented.
The character is relevant.
It matters. Ben Bruce, I'm telling you, Ben Bruce is. I'm telling you, Ben Bruce is a scam. I'm telling you, Ben Bruce is a scam. And I've told you the story. Can you calm down? Calm down. Can you calm down?
Yeah, I'm trying to calm
down. Take out your personal.
Don't interrupt me and then tell me to calm down.
Take out your personal interest in your personal feelings about the matter.
I'm not interested.
I want to address, now that I've spoken to you that Ben Bruce is a scam, I want to
All right.
address the issue of population. Can you listen to me?
Can you frame the question first? Can you let
Why
me
is
frame
it that China?
Can I frame the question before you answer it? At least I'm the one asking the question.
Why is it that China?
Can I frame
Why
the
is it
question?
that China, with the highest population in the world, is making it? Why is it that India, with the highest population in the world, is making it? It's because right now population is no longer a liability if you have resourceful leadership. I am not saying that people, my father and mom and his two other wives had 21 kids. There are 16 of us alive today, right? The reason why our parents have kids is because we don't have medical care. Why do they do that? Why do they think is if I have 6 kids and 3 of them die, I'll have 3 more kids who will take care of me, because children in Africa are African parents' social security, right? Because we don't have hospitals working. If our parents know that they can have one child and they will leave, they'll probably stick with one child or 2 kids. But as long as you have leaders who don't take care of infrastructure, anything can kill you in Nigeria. The bottle of water you are drinking, if you were to be in Nigeria, it could be fake. And you can go to bed tonight and you have like serious, infections in your stomach because you drank fake water. You don't have to deal with that in the US. I'm addressing Ben Bruce. I'm not addressing, it's not a personal fight between me and you. I'm saying that people like Ben Bruce should not be listened to. It's part of the problem we have. We listen to the wrong people. Ben Bruce is fake. Ben Bruce told you when he was saying that he will be driving electric car. It's a lie. He said he will buy cars from a local manufacturer or assembler. He never did. Ben Bruce is just a talker. He knows how to talk the talk, he doesn't walk the walk. That's part of Nigeria's problem. And don't get upset, don't get worked up when I'm addressing them, because I follow these guys, I research on them. I traced Ben Bruce transferring $3 million of Nigeria's money to buy a mansion in Los Angeles. You can Google it. How can such a person be a credible source of encouragement for people in Nigeria? I'm just saying to you, talking about population, whereas it's not a bad idea to control population, but population is no longer a liability when you have leadership that can take advantage of huge population. Because I mentioned yesterday to you about American Express. If you call for customer service, the people answering you, they are in India. If you call for customer service for Verizon, your phone company, or T-Mobile, or Sprint, the companies are in India. Even Ghana is providing back-end support to people who are processing. This is something you can Google. People who are processing tickets, traffic tickets, because you can provide all these jobs because in these countries, labor is cheaper, and I'm not for cheap labor. But what Ben Bruce is telling you is BS. Ben Bruce is part of Nigeria's problem. There's no point amplifying the lies that the likes of Ben Bruce tell you, going by what he did in the Senate. They just came to the Senate, they lied, they collected money, they supported Bukola Saraki with Dino Melai and left Nigeria in the lush. They cashed out and they moved on. When he was asked to pay back the loans he took from banks, he went underground and started begging Buhari. He never paid the loan back. But he opted not to criticize the government. So, again, it's explained. What I'm saying is that understand the predicament of an African parent why they have many kids is because they look at it and say, if malaria kills one, if typhoid kills the other one, and that's where the whole Abiku thing comes from. I just have one that can take care of me when I'm in old age. If we can get it right first with ensuring that we provide social services, social security for our people, and we have equitable distribution of resources, then we can talk about population control. But I don't think our problem right now is completely like they want to blame it on population. It's on leadership. A lot of the leaders we're talking about today, people like Atiku has 23, almost 40 kids. Obasanjo has like 40 kids as we speak. A lot of these guys that you are quoting here, including Ben Bruce, he probably have like children out of wedlock. I'm not saying it categorically, but I'm surprised because it's pretty sharp, smart Alec as well. And I'm not questioning their private lives. I'm just telling you who they are.
Can I come in now, sir? Can I say something now? Are you done? All right, this is what
and doctor, you know, I have to go. I have to go.
All right, go if you have to go.
Go ahead.
That's fine. My point is my own challenge with Nigeria and Nigerian politicians, with all due respect, is that they like to attack the person rather than.
No, go ahead, please. Yes, I'm just speaking with you that I have to leave.
No, that's fine. No, that's
let's leave at 7:30.
All right, that's fine. 7:30, you can leave. We will have 9 more minutes. What I'm saying is that we can't begin to find solutions to our problem when we look at the person profiling an idea rather than the validity of the ideas. I don't subscribe to that school, no matter how valid your attacks on Ben Bruce might be. I don't know him. I don't like him. I've never met him. I just thought that idea was intriguing. And for you to say population is not relevant, I think is really not thinking about this problem deeply, because China recognized that. Is why they passed the law that you cannot have more than one child. I'm not saying we should endorse that in Nigeria, but they recognize that problem. I defend a lot of people for asylum cases in America over that. So we should have a conversation about because 5 years ago, okay, the kind of resources we have 5 years ago and today has reduced by like 30 or 40% in income. Meanwhile, our population has increased by 10 or 20%. And you are saying population is not a concern as far as employment is concerned. That's a direct relationship. And if we don't want to have that discussion where the money you have to spend is reducing, but your population is increasing, then that to me means that we can never solve our problem as a nation. I am big on that, and I feel that regardless of who Ben Bruce is, his comment deserves debate. Unfortunately, we spend the time attacking him and his person rather than his ideas. There's no clean person out there. We should look at the ideas and embrace the best of them, regardless of the motive. It's also possible he has a motive for his ideas, but nobody can deny that population has a direct relationship with employment. China, that you quoted, that's what they did. They recognized that and passed a draconian law that the whole world condemned, which I agree. So, because if you don't reduce your population while your income is reducing, you are going to keep going into poverty no matter what you do. No, if you have more math, it's a very simple math. You have 5 children to feed today when your salary is 100,000. Then your salary became 50,000, and now you have 20 children to feed. I don't care what you do. You are not going to be able to feed them well. And that is what Ben Bruce is saying, that we need to have that discussion and not let religion debar us from debating. It's a debate. At some point, we have to recognize that maybe education might be educating people to have less children. The Catholics don't want to hear that, but hey, if you're having more children and less money, at some point, you can never grow. It's a very simple thing. But unfortunately, we missed that opportunity because we spend that time attacking Mr. Ben Bruce. I don't care about Ben Bruce. I care about the idea that he raised. All right, so Mr. Sowore has requested even before we started, so don't think that he just left in anger. He already said he can only spend 1 hour, that he had a meeting after that 1 hour. So we have to respect that. He will be back tomorrow for 2 hours, but we will continue the conversation to talk. And a lot of the Sowore disciples that are here, you are not doing yourself a favor by continuing to attack that they don't let him to talk. The whole world can see that I did most of the talking. I'm trying to redirect him because I was interviewing him. And as interviewing him, we're exchanging ideas. You may not like it, but this is how we got into the problem we were before. When we don't interrogate our leaders well, to be sure they have progressive ideas of what to do. And I'm not playing that with anybody, not even my friends. They are going to come here, at least if they agree to come on my show or have opportunity, I will interrogate them about their ideas. Do they have ideas to solve our problem? Any leader that is telling me population is not relevant to the unemployment problem hasn't thought it through. And I say that with all sense of responsibility. Virtually all over the world, there's a direct relationship, and it's a simple math. I just said it. You have 100,000 naira as your salary 5 years ago. This year, your salary is now 5 years ago with 5 children. But this year, 5 years after, your salary is now 50 naira. But you have 20 children to feed. And you're telling me there's no relationship between population and ability to feed your children? No. So Mr. Ben Bruce raised a very valid point, regardless of his own merit, regardless of whether he deserves to be respected, regardless of whether he's a thief or not a thief. And I want Nigerians, and those of you out there interrogating your leaders, you got to ask them that question. How are they going to solve the problem of unemployment with controlling the population? It's a question they can't run away from. Nigeria is growing at a geometric rate, and our income is reducing at a geometric rate. That is a direct route to poverty, no matter what anybody does. And any leader that cannot come up with creative ideas about how to solve those intertwining problems will not be a leader that will solve our problem. You can do emotion. I was in that emotional state 6 years ago. I know better now. I don't care who you are. Okay? Tell me what you're going to do. How are you going to solve the problem? Unfortunately, Mr. Sowore is no longer here to respond. We will probably start from here again tomorrow when he comes back. All right? Since this is an interview for Mr. Sowore, I can't keep going on my own solutions here because it will look like I'm talking for myself. All right? But I have to speak this out clearly. A leader that cannot explain the direct relationship between population and unemployment is not worth your vote. I don't care who that person is, because it's a very relevant question that you can do in your own house. It's a simple math. You make 100,000 when you have 5 kids. Now you have 10 kids, but you are now making 50 naira. And you're telling me you can solve the problem without solving the problem of mouths to feed? The Lord will have to help us. Mr. Ben Bruce Street open, they attack him as if he has said something crazy. But rather than debating the topic, we want to attack him. He's a thief. He's in that. I don't play that. All right, I'm going to end this show. And I don't doubt that there's resources for Nigeria to go around Nigerians. But I expected him to explain it. How are you going to fund this stuff? Because this is how we get into this problem, people. We don't interrogate our leaders. We are just doing emotion. We love him. We love this person. We love this person. Then we will go and vote. And then they can't do it. And then we keep coming. And I'm not talking specifically of Sowore now. Please, I'm not criticizing Sowore because you, his followers, will start attacking me. I'm saying we as Nigerians, we need to put emotion aside. Your life is on the line. I'm not going to even be affected one way or the other. I live in the US. All my kids live here. So if we don't want to face our problems, then we deal with it. But don't come complaining. We had Buhari in 2015. He promised employment for all the youths. He promised he was going to do this, was going to do that. He didn't do it. Then you went and voted for him again in 2019. Or he voted himself. But you let him carry it. And now you're about to do the same thing. All of you saying, get out of here. Don't talk, let Mr. Sowore talk. You are going to do a motion to go vote again. And then you're going to be in the same situation. You need people with clear ideas. And by the way, I'm not running for anything in case you think that this is some kind of setup from me. No, I'm never going to run for anything in Nigeria. I'm not living there. I don't plan to come back to come and live there. But I have a right to speak my mind just like every one of you. I'll take some comments from here and then we'll wrap this up in about 30 minutes. As we planned for 2 hours. Mr. Sowore couldn't finish with us again. It was not because he was upset. I want to be clear. He already said in advance he cannot do more than 1 hour. So I want to appreciate him for being a man and standing up. But if interviewer and interviewee are agreeing on everything, then we are all deceiving ourselves. As they say in Yoruba language, when 2 brothers go into a room and they come out laughing, somebody is lying to the other. My job is to put their feet to the fire. It's not a popular job. I get it. But my job is to ask those difficult questions that some of you out there will never have the opportunity to ask. So take it in that mode, as opposed to thinking that everything is an attack. That's your problem in Nigeria. All right, I'll put some questions there. I'm a very straight up guy. Okay. Okay. This is a man that has called IGC so it's okay. I don't have a problem, Mr. Oyewole, with him calling anybody a thief or calling them. But we want to focus on the issues. We are not here to attack personalities. This is not a political stuff. Let politicians attack themselves on TV. But we want to hear from them. What do they think of that idea? That's all I'm doing. All right. So, yes, anybody that calls himself a leader that wants to be interviewed, I will interview them. I'm looking for Mogalu. I've been sending messages to him. He's not responding. I've been looking for Fela Durotoye. I don't have his numbers. If you have it, send them to me. I will call him. I will beg him. They almost tell us, not just palliative video, where they just talk generally. How will you do it? Let's know if you have ideas, or if you are just going to talk nice and play on our emotion. We all run to the field and vote you in, and then you get in there because you had no ideas to begin with. You can't execute. Let's look at all of them. Obi Ezekwesili, Mogalu, Fela, Sheung. I'm looking for Sheung Kuti. Sheung has some great ideas. Whoever has his numbers should please send it to me. I'll beg him. Let him come and explain to Nigerians. We need a new generation leader, and we're not going to get it by doing emotion. In case some of you think I don't like Sowore, I just said it on my page that I think is the man to help us on the street if we want to go riot. I don't have a problem with him. I love him. But nobody gets a pass, not on this Naija Lives Matter. Everybody, they have to answer. All right? So here is a young man. Yes, let's just put some questions here. Gabichuk says she already answered the question. All he does was attack Ben Bruce. Samson Akinola says yes, good statement. Mr. Oyewole says bring those people to come for interviews. Let them debate themselves, but they should never sabotage his efforts and his ideas. Never again. Yeah, a time will come where we'll bring all of them together. And then the new generation leaders, and we're going to put them to the test. It's going to be a test of ideas. And then we can see who we want to support or who we do not want to support. Okay? Okay, so Tony Deborah said Sowore did. If you don't know Naija problem, then you are lost. I don't know what he said he did. Boswakitola says this is an interview, not a debate. You are not professional. I'm not a journalist. I told you from beginning, I have very strong opinions. So when somebody comes on my show and is not addressing the topic, I will call him out. I have my own ideas. I'm not a journalist. Sorry if you are not happy about that. This is not a Nigerian Vanguard or Nigerian Punch or any of the type of interviews that Nigerians do, where all they do is, how is your family, how is your daddy, how is your business? And then at the end of it, they are waiting for brown envelope. They can't ask the right questions. Have you watched interviews, Mr. Boswakitola, whoever you are? Have you watched interview of Nigerian journalists interview these guys? Are they asking them tough questions? No, they are not. It's all emotion because they want to collect brown envelope at the time. Now I'm venting because the guest is gone. We need to get our act together. We need to stop being emotional. We can be passionate. I am very passionate, but I'm not emotional. I ask you direct. You are not answering. I'm going to cut in and talk to you. All right? So, all right, yes. Mr. Abe, governor, says, if you want to vote for Sowore, you should come down his IOS and how to fix it. Easier said than done. All right? That is your opinion. I want to respect as many opinions as possible. Sheung Kolawale says, personality attack is not what we need, but selling your manifesto effectively and making people see what to see in terms of solution. Thank you, Sheung Kolawale. That's what I'm about. When they come in here, they should tell us. If they want to give us the same old tired solutions, then we know from day one that it's just emotion they are doing. They're going to get in there, they can't do it. All right, so we must, yes, Akinyemi said, I'm too aggressive. I am. In personal life, in business, I am. We need aggressive people to hold the feet of these people to fire. I'm not a nice guy. I don't want to be a nice guy. All right, they must answer the question or we will call them to account. You don't like it, you can stop watching. I don't care. All right, Onyina, it says, Onyina says zoological Nigeria. I don't know about that, but that is your opinion. Everybody's got one on this show, so I'm going to pull up as much of it as I can. Okay, Chineye Obina, what is all these talks going to carry us? Are these talks going to make one the win? I don't even know your English, sir. You need to retype it in a proper English that I can understand. Thank you. Oyewole, say you are doing a great job, Pastor. I'm not pastor on this thread right now. I'm a Nigerian who is concerned and worried that if we don't get our act together, we are going to be running in circles. We need new generation leaders, but they must show us they have ideas. They must show they know specifics of what they want to do. All right, Ivy, Liliana Henry. Our leaders have been asked times with that number before in the past. What is their plans on population and job creations? They have answered this question fantastic, but failed to implement those ideas. Well, I agree with you. It's one thing, before you can even implement an idea, you must have an idea first now. So what we're even talking about now is what are the ideas? And that is what I'm about. My job as to whether they implement it is not my job. I'm not going to do the job for them. You Nigerians will decide who you can trust to implement what they are saying. We always say, I do a great job. Thank you. Let's get some other comments on here as we start bringing this thing down. Let me go back to the top. All right. Okay, I think I posted Sheung before. Evie has talked. Nigerian politicians can talk the talk but don't walk the walk. They are saying sensible things and fail to implement more than 1% of them. Exactly. We want to look at their antecedents. Let them tell us what they've done, what they are going to do before we vote them. Nigerians, you better open your eyes this time around. You better open your eyes. Dr. Bolu said many of us don't believe in one Nigeria anymore. Nigeria is dead. Okay, what are you going to have in its place? It's easy to say break up Nigeria. Then what are you going to have, Mr. Dotun? What are you going to have? What else you got? You break it up, what do you think is going to happen? You give them Oduduwa Republic, then Ekitima will start fighting Yoruba man. You give them a Biafra. That's when you guys will know that you are not the same, that the one from Munewi is different from the one from Anambra. Or are the leaders that are going to take it when you break it up? Are those not the Ngiges of this world that we are looking at? Who is very happy that doctors are leaving Nigeria? Those are the people that will lead your Biafra now. Is it not Ngige that are the leaders? Or is it Kanu that will come and run it? With Nigeria is what we got. We got to now start working out to make sure this Nigeria, we got new leaders in there. I don't believe in separation. I don't believe it. I don't think it's going to work. Okay? Ola Poga said this is not an interview but a debate. What on your anger before you can make impact in the dying Nigeria? I'm not a politician, so I have every right to be angry, and I am angry. Ola Poga, in case you don't know, it's your politicians you should be asking. How are they going to do it? I see that you have an NSAS campaign. Is this how you want to do your own NSAS? Employ leaders who cannot tell you how they're going to solve your problems. Specifics, not just emotional, let's end. After you end, what next? You have to think ahead. I agree. We should end SARS. We should end all these leaders passionately. And I don't just talk about it. I put my money on the line. I put my time on the line. But after we end them, what is going to happen? That's how you think as a nation. Otherwise, we are going to end them and then we're going to end up with worse. That is what we're about. Okay, so I will put it up. All right, Mick Olumayo was saying Nigeria should follow the China law too. Death sentence for corrupt politicians. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's a solution. We are talking solutions. And the Nigerian people can decide for themselves what they want to, where they want to go. We have to make our decisions by having discussions like this. No topic is off the table. No ideas should be thrown away because of the person saying it. We debate it. And then we can reject it or we can accept it. Okay? All right. Tony Moore says if you believe in one Nigeria, it means you are benefiting from the criminal politicians. Who is Nigeria? Yeah, you can say that. That's also an opinion. All right. Everybody knows me that I don't care about any of the Nigerian politicians. I don't do business with government. They're not reliable. I can go on and on about that. But I just feel a one Nigeria is better than a splintered Nigeria. Our pain will be worse in a split Nigeria. That's my belief. If Nigerians decide that they want to split it, that's also okay. I'm here in the US. It's hardly going to affect me or my children. So go for it. It's an idea that we are discussing. And your opinion is as good as mine. God bless you. I want to end today with, maybe I'll start this tomorrow, a young man that I admire a lot. I've never met him, but I saw his video online a few years ago. He has more ideas than most of our politicians put together. I don't know why nobody is celebrating that young man. If somebody can find me his number and email it to me on my WhatsApp or my Facebook page, I'm looking for him. I want to be able to give him something that if he's not doing something major now, I will invest in him. Not as a partnership, but because I believe that this man has idea. As a young man, I watched this video 3 years ago and I was just nonplussed. That if they give a man like this, maybe 6 months, 1 year to come up with ideas, I don't know if it's an executor, but it's a thinker. And it's just a young boy. Here is it. We're going to watch his video, then we come back and we close this show.
A case study of what is actually going on right now in Lagos. There has been a project that's been handed over to the CCECC. It's a Chinese company, and they are the ones in charge of the railway project. Now look at it this way. The Chinese people handle the project, we just handle manpower, and they give us little manpower. We are talking of maintenance men that were flown in from China down here to Nigeria. They are handling expatriate positions, while us, we are the ones taking menial jobs. But now let me tell you where it gets worse. They don't speak English. They don't teach us Chinese. So because they don't speak English and they don't teach us Chinese, let me tell you what is going to happen at the time their contract finishes. Nigeria is going to sign up separately for the maintenance of that system. I'm a graduate with a BSc. I'm on the streets. 80% of graduates in Lagos as at 2016 are homeless. Any Lagosian you see with a school bag is homeless. It's high time we stop hiding things from ourselves. The truth is out there. The truth is out there. We carry sweaters, we carry bags, and everybody is homeless. Everybody is living in fear. And let me tell you what is going on. Those that have the means to employ, do you know what they are employing? They're employing cooks. They're employing security guards. Apart from that, they're employing maids. So that's more job going to females, and the only job that is left for graduates is security, cook, cleaner. A graduate with a BSc now cannot do more in Lagos than be a cook, a secretary, or a cleaner. And let me tell you, it's not easy. We're already competing for that position now. A lot of people, they will not employ Nigerians. Do you know what they prefer to employ? They prefer to employ Togolese people, Togolese and Ghanaians. Imagine. So tell me, what's Lagos doing for me? We are celebrating Independence Day, but please, there's no independence. We are all in modern day slavery. This is modern day slavery. It's high time that Nigerians get enlightened. We need to use our head. We need to come together and start thinking for ourselves. Now, let me get this straight. The problem, you must first of all trace the genesis of that problem. A lot of people are seeing the problem. They don't know the genesis. They don't know the solution because they've not yet traced it down. And we are talking about selling assets. How many have we sold? By the time this interview is done, I hope they look behind me and they see a magnificent building that is standing in Lagos. That building is empty. There are a lot of great minds that could use that building, but that building is empty. It's just one of them. Oh. Go to Lekki and see how many abandoned houses are in Elegushi. So now you ask yourself, if all these things are going on in 2016, should I tell you what will happen by 2018? When the amount of homeless people in Lagos State have increased from 80% to 99%. So rich man, where will you be? Your houses in Lekki are empty. Houses in Banana too are empty because you cannot stay there. So tell me, the root of Nigeria's problem is greed. We need to check ourselves. We need to check our lifestyle. You are living in a very big mansion of 20 rooms. My brother, how many rooms can you sleep with? Ask yourself how many rooms. You can only sleep inside one room. You are living in a mansion in 20 rooms. I want you to ask yourself this. You, that big man sleeping inside that big house. Any day you come outside to sleep with any girl in your balance, stroll and go under the bridge. You will see the reason why that girl is a prostitute. You will see the reason why your sons are bastards. We elect leaders without any understanding. And do you know why? How will a leader look through the contract he's about to sign and he will tell me that he did not provide space for graduates to get employed in a contract that he was handing out to foreigners? My brother, we need to wake up. If I on the street know this, then you that is inside that government office, if you don't know this, you don't deserve to be on that seat. All those any income are women. If you want to get a good job nowadays and you're not wearing miniskirt, you can't get that good job. Am I lying? Yes or no? And in case that's not hard enough for you, those women that actually get that good job, do you know that they are miserable? Secretary wants to sleep with Oga. Consultant wants to sleep with Oga. Guest wants to sleep with Oga. That is secretary plus 8 more women trying to sleep with the boss. And do you know where the other men are? The men that God has said you should marry, they are on the streets, or they are in security jobs, or they are cleaning the offices of the boss that you are trying to sleep with. So it's high time that we need to use our head.
All right, that's it. That's a young man, and that was 3 years ago. And we're even in worse shape today. That is work for Nigerians to think about. As you get all emotional, I love this, I love that, without checking them out, it's going to be the story, keep repeating itself. Nobody's going to come and fix Nigeria for us, particularly those of you who live there. Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. We have to open our eyes and shine our eyes and make sure that the leaders that we elect are the ones that can do the job without sentiment, no matter how much we love them. Somebody said, I'm going to end this. I want to appreciate everybody that that contributed to the discussion today. I know you spent your time here, and some of you, unfortunately, I can't show everybody's comment. We have like over 300 comments now. I just wanted to make sure I appreciate you. Chinedi said, I want to see other politicians that will accept my interview. I don't need them to accept it if they are not ready to face the hot seat. It's called a hot seat for a reason. You don't do hot seat by smiling and laughing with them. It's called a hot seat. Most politicians don't have the liver. At least I appreciate Sowore. He stepped up to the plate. Many of them don't have the liver. All right? So it's okay. They don't need to come to my show. I can do my show by myself. This is Nigeria. Thank God for social media. Everybody has mouth. You can go live on your show and talk your own. Even if it's one person that watched you, it's okay. My job is to talk. My job is to hold their feet to the fire. I'm not running for any office. But anybody wants to rule, should be able to come up and stand up. I appreciate Mr. Sowore for standing up to be a person. By the way, that video, remember, actually was a video that we got from Sahara reporters. That's to tell you they were covering this stuff. So it makes sense that if they are coming in now to say they want to replace them, they should give us a better idea. I appreciate you guys so much. The Lord bless you. Tomorrow we will be back, of course, with Mr. Sowore for the third day running. We have already locked down Mr. Dele Momodu, Chief Dele Momodu, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Next week, we also have other guests. We have This Ends Now. I told you about that organization that I think I'm supporting because they're not a political movement. Their job is to end bad government in Nigeria. I've told them to let their leaders come up and tell Nigerians what they want to do. Nobody gets a pass, not on Nigeria Lives Matter. You're going to come and you're going to tell us, oh, don't come. But we will keep saying our piece. The Lord bless you guys real good. I know we will see the Nigeria of our dreams in our generation. We all just have to decide that we are done with playing games. We are done with emotional politics. We are done with tribal politics. We want real leaders who have ideas up here and who have integrity to be able to execute them when we go to the post next. Otherwise, we can cry all we want. A nation deserves the leadership it gets. What we get now, we deserved it because we elected them or allowed them to rig the election. We can't point to America. We can't point to London. We have to point at ourselves that these leaders are our own making and then do a better job picking new ones. The Lord bless you really good. And this is Dr. Okwe. I'm out of here.